I'd like to introduce this time Colonel Bill Connors from Orangeburg. He's running for the United States Senate. And I'll let Bill take it from there. He ran for lieutenant governor. He almost got it. He should have gotten it, but now he's running for U.S. Senate. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Wade. And he's right. You got another chance to elect me again after the lieutenant governor's race in November. But it's great to be here. Look, I've got one reason you've got to elect me. I have 3 kids. My son is 13. He's in 7th grade, going to 8th grade. He ran for student body treasurer and won. So please don't make me go home and tell him I lost and he won. So that's number one reason right away. Hey, look, I'm motivated right now about what's going to happen in this upcoming election. I'm like many of you, I think, where I didn't spend my life in politics. I came from a military family. In fact, I was born in Hawaii, and I've got my birth certificate in case you guys want to check that out. But that's how I grew up. I went to the Citadel, family roots in South Carolina, but I grew up moving around and had a long active duty career as an airborne ranger infantry guy, and but was not political. In fact, you know, my father, when I first started running, was like, politics? You're not politicians. Those guys. I said, yeah, those guys. But what brought me into it was going back to 2008. I'd just gotten home from Afghanistan and had a unique opportunity there to see something that most Americans don't. And that was the difference between Europe and America on the battlefield. Because we were in southern Afghanistan, my good friend Colonel Alan West was there as well, and we trained the Afghans to fight the Taliban. But the Europeans controlled the area of operations. And I put my teams out, my captains, my sergeants, to serve alongside the Europeans. And they're brothers in arms, they're brave, but there's a difference between Americans and Europeans. And I firmly believe it's not about genetics, it's not about any of that stuff. It comes down to one thing, that this document right here, the document I swore to protect and defend 24 years ago, has made us who and what we are. There's a confidence, a swagger about Americans that's different. And when I came home in 2008, I looked around and started seeing things that really just hit me in the fact our country is racing toward Europe as fast as it can go. We are losing what it means to be an American. It was a time frame of the TARP bailouts in 2008, if y'all remember that. And by the way, our senior senator voted for both of them. And looking back over the decade, the Republicans in this case, and I'm running as a Republican in a Republican primary, acted in many cases like Democrats. You almost couldn't distinguish the two in many cases of what they were doing. Now, it's not about an issue of going to fight wars. I volunteered to go do that. And there's certain things we had to spend for. But a lot of Republicans, like our senior senator, gave up on this document. And February 27, 2009, I spoke at the first Tea Party in the history of the state 5 years ago. And then on the State House steps, April 15 of that year, introduced Jim DeMint, the other senator, who votes the right way. You know, I was with that tsunami, and I saw it come crashing down. You know, we took our house back. That house that brought us Obamacare, we took it back. We sent Trey Gowdy up there. We sent Tim Scott up there. We sent Jeff Duggan up there. We took it back. And we got another chance. We do. You know, we got almost 30 days, well, 28 days left till the primary. And I'm seeing it come in this race. In this race, I gotta tell you, it can be won. It can. Lindsey Graham right now cannot break 50%. There are 6 challengers. One of us is gonna make it. One of us is gonna make it, and we can take it back. Now, what are some of the things that I'd like to bring? I looked at the race last year. I felt the call to get back into service, and I believe government should be a service, which is why I've already said 2 terms is it for me. I swear on my word of honor, 2 terms I will lead. Because I don't think anybody can go beyond 12 years in Washington, D.C. without being infected by whatever else is up there. And our current senior senator, by the way, Lindsey Graham, may be a good man when he started, but 20 years later, it's time for him to go back home, get a real job, and spend a few years being one of us. Because that's the problem in D.C. You know, I look at some main issues. You know, the first one is immigration. We have got to fix immigration. Our country will implode right now. Our economy is bad. We can't continue to sustain the growth of illegal immigrations. We need to close the border off. But also, quite frankly, our visa system. Because almost 50% of the problem is people overstaying visas. We've got to fix immigration all the way around. We don't need to be twice the level of legal immigration we were in the Reagan era. Our country can't sustain it. Being an American, it means you hold the same common heroes, the same documents that you hold dear. We as Americans are seeing our country tear apart, and that can't continue to happen. And then constitutionalism. You know, one of the first things I'm going to do as a senator is get rid of the National Department of Education. Do I have any cheers out there on that? And our military is being destroyed from within. 24 years now, was selected colonel. I grew up in the military. We are about to lose the warriors that have given us our freedom. It's not just about the cuts. We don't need to be cut down to World War II, pre-World War II levels. We don't need the radical homosexual movement and things of that nature tearing our military apart, taking Christianity, pushing it out, bringing radical ideas into it. We're going to destroy our military. And once that warrior ethos is gone, and guys in law enforcement, you understand it too. Once you have young men willing to give their lives for this nation, we as a nation are toast. Our freedom is gone. And we're losing that right now. So I want to stand up and help take care of it. I know my time is short. I just ask for three things. The first thing is, I'm a born-again Christian. I believe that God is sovereign. I believe we are blessed as a nation because we turn to God. We're a God-fearing nation. Please pray for our nation and pray for my family over the next 30 days. We can do this again. We can change our Senate. We can bring back true conservative leadership. But pray, please pray. Also pray to the families, because for all the families, modern politics is not nice. And I face Taliban bullets, and I'll tell you, politics with your family and all that is not fun. So please pray for them, that they're protected from all that sort of thing. And the next thing is your vote. Please vote. Please vote for people that you believe in. And don't worry about who you think is supposedly going to win, because I'm going to tell you, the media is going to tell you who they think is going to win. You can make the winners be the winners that should be. In this case, if you elect me, I'll bring conservative leadership that you can trust. And the last thing is, I'm going to say this outright, is we need your resources. This is a team effort. Okay, I'm facing an incumbent. This is, hey, I'm going to use the metaphor. David versus Goliath. But David won. In this case, we win as a team. If you believe in changing our leadership, please consider giving. Whether it's money, whether it's time, whether it's resources, whether it's calls. I appreciate y'all being here, I really do. But please go beyond that and get people fired up. You know, for some reason right now, if you haven't seen, there's a lull right now that people need to get fired up. It's 28 days from now. This is the real election in South Carolina, the primary. So please get fired up. Please get out there. Pray. God bless this place. God bless South Carolina. And God bless America. Thank you very much.